It's time now for the legal answer, and we're joined, of course, by Sinas from Sinas Dramis, continuing our conversation on Michigan auto insurance and, of course, protecting yourself after a crash. So today, though, we're kind of breaking down how Medicare fits into Michigan's no-fault system. But Steven, nice to see you.
Thanks again for having me.
Yes, it's really good to have you in to really continue these conversations that there's a lot of confusion around, especially when it comes to insurance coverage lately and how people are choosing lower limits and opting out of PIP. Why do you think that is?
So as a result of the 2019 amendments to the Michigan no-fault law, insurance buying has become much more complex for consumers. They now have multiple different options they can choose from. And then there are options that are only available to certain people. If you're on Medicaid, you can limit your no-fault medical expense coverage all the way down to $50,000.
Okay.
And then if you're on Medicare and you meet the qualifications that are set forth in the statute, you can opt out of medical expense coverage entirely.
Oh.
So senior citizens are being given this option as a way of saving money on their auto insurance, and that sounds good. But the issue is that Medicare doesn't provide the same coverage as Michigan no-fault. So when you are opting out of Michigan no-fault, it's like apples to oranges.
Right.
And that's a real concern for people who are injured following a motor vehicle accident.
What are you seeing when it comes to, like, what's the biggest kind of gap, people that don't really realize when it comes to all of this?
I think what people get wrong is they assume that if they have coverage under one system, it's the same as coverage that would be under the other system. And that's entirely not true. Medicare has some significant limitations on the types of rehabilitation expenses, care services you may need if you're seriously injured. So it is not the same as Michigan no-fault. Michigan no-fault has a standard that you can claim whatever is reasonably necessary for the care, recovery, or rehabilitation of your injuries. Medicare has a much more nuanced, limited standard. So what happens is that people are relying on Medicare. They don't have as much coverage. They have many more out-of-pocket expenses, and it's just not as good for them going forward with their care.
Absolutely. And you know, you see so many cases per day. How do you see this kind of really play out in real life situations?
Well, I have a number of clients who thought it was a good idea to opt out. They were Medicare recipients and they thought they'd save money.
Yeah.
And now we're handling their case following serious injury, and we have to point out to them that's not going to be covered for you because you opted out. And then the other thing that I really have to get out there is that not only do you have this issue of not having as much coverage, what Medicare pays for your medical expenses, they can claim back and make you pay them back out of money you end up recovering from the at-fault driver. So if you are seriously injured and you recover compensation from the at-fault driver for your pain and suffering, and Medicare has paid $50,000 of your medical expenses, they can take your money away from you and pay themselves back for that medical care.
Wow. Okay.
And that's not the situation you'd be in if you bought unlimited Michigan no-fault.
So what would you say to them right now before they get into those consequences?
Our state of mind guides us in anything we do.
Yeah.
And if we have a state of mind when we buy insurance that it's good to save money on insurance and we're always going to do that, that's going to lead us to believe that doing something like opting out of Michigan no-fault medical expense coverage is a good idea. But if your state of mind is, I want to make sure I have the protection I will need if something horrible happens to me, then all of a sudden that saving money doesn't seem worth it.
Yeah.
Right? Because you then realize that what you're really trading for those few extra dollars is a lot less coverage. The fact that your money might be taken away by the government if you make that recovery against the at-fault driver, all that is not worth it. If you can afford the auto insurance. I know there are people out there who really need to save, but think twice before you try to save because it really could cost you.
But what is that big takeaway that you really want viewers to remember with all of this?
That insurance buying decisions can actually affect the course of your life. That if you're ever seriously injured in an auto accident, the decisions you made when buying auto insurance can really change how things go for you and your family. So take it pretty seriously. Don't make it be just about saving a few dollars. Think about the big picture.
You can find all that information by heading to sinusdramis.com. But thank you so much, Steven, for stopping in. Always good to see you.
Yes, good to see you too.